much. And today, another show. We just got off a show earlier, so now this is a show number 2 of Family Ramblings with Tara Cree. And we had her on, a couple weeks ago, right? And it was awesome.
Yeah,
Last year. Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
A long time ago. I missed you guys.
Right? So
How have you been? How's your year going?
I
You have
know
a good year so far?
it has started with a wonderful bang. How about yours?
Oh, good. It's going great. It's hard to believe. It's already like halfway through the month. You know, time is such a weird thing, and I don't know where it goes. I felt like it was just New Year's Day. But no, it's going good. Honestly, I wake up happy every day, and you know, you got ups and downs, right? You got peaks and valleys, but I'm always happy. You gotta choose it. You gotta choose to be happy every day. So,
Right.
and I'm telling you, this year, I know we say this every year. I've done it before, but this feels different. I'm gonna have a phenomenal year because the last 2 years kind of stunk. Like there's been a lot of weird stuff going on in our world, and I feel like this year, just whatever they're gonna throw at us, I'm not gonna let it get to me this time. And I feel so empowered in that because I feel like the last couple of years I've been a little bit, I don't want to use the word victimized, but like felt a little bit like I was affected by the powers that be. And I'm not doing that this year. That's my resolution, but it's like, it's in me. I can feel it, like it's a reality already.
Right. So, Jay and April, we had Jay on not too long ago, and or actually we went through one of his trainings, and he said, why should we say Happy New Year and just focus upon one day a year when we should be focusing upon a happy new day of every day and bring in that new amazing energy every day? And so now every day we're like, Happy New Day.
Well, remember in Alice in Wonderland when he said my unbirthday is every day, so I'm going to celebrate my unbirthday every day.
I'm going to start having some unbirthdays, Candy.
Happy unbirthday to me.
Oh my gosh. You know, April called me last week and she said to me, hey, how you doing? And I said, I'm happy. And she was so taken back by that. But that is my standard. I say that because a friend of mine, I can't take credit for it. My friend, my skydiving friend from years ago, he's the one who would say it. And he would say it with this big, I'm like, how are you? He's like, I'm happy. I'm happy. So I've been saying this for years. So I said it to April. She said, it stopped her track. She was, oh my God, I'm stealing that. I go, do it. If you start saying that to people, they're going to go, oh, they're going to laugh. They'll giggle. They're going to go, why are you so happy? So I have people, like when I go to the store here, the people who work there, like they're saying it now. So I'm happy. Why not? It's a choice, right?
You know, she was impacted by that, April, because one of our conversations, she told me all about it, and I said, okay, well, I'm stealing it too.
Oh, yeah. That's change going. You have so many listeners and viewers and people who love you guys. So when someone says, hey, how are you? Just go, I'm happy. How are you? And just watch what happens. You will go to the bank and do it. Go to the stores. People will literally Comcast on the phone when they finally pick up. Hey, I'm happy. How are you doing today? People will go, oh, okay, that's really great. Like they're so caught off guard because we always say the same old thing, right? I'm good. How are you? Or people will start complaining, oh, my back's sore. You know, I got corns on my feet. Like who knows?
Start the conversation with happy.
You know,
I don't know. It's a good thing to put forward, I guess. I like it.
when my daughter was little, she always had these made up words, and her happy was bappy.
And her thank you was
I'm
good.
happy. I would coin that. That's super cute.
That is
When
really
kids
cute.
come up with their own words like that, I'm happy. I feel like if I said that, though, I'd have to explain it. So
Right?
Right? Exactly.
There was also another word. She could say you're welcome. She could say thank you, but she always used gookum for both.
cute.
Gookum.
Do you guys remember words you couldn't pronounce when you were a little kid? Do you remember any words that?
Oh, of course. I have Keezer, Yachi, Tata. So there's a girl wearing a Tata on a Yachi, meaning yacht, eating a Keezer salad.
Caesar. Oh, too funny. It was like a whole sentence.
Yeah.
So we were sitting around the table, and we took up this practice of reading after we were done eating. And so the kids were taking turns, and it was his turn. And he sat there and he looked at this word for the longest time, and then he got really frustrated as soon as we said, "What are you looking at?" And he goes, "I can't say it." And I said, "What word is it?" "Abominable." And we all laughed and we said, "You just said it."
You did. That sounded right. It's a tough word. It's a tough word, abominable. It's hard even as an adult. One other word, I was saying it the other day, and it so doesn't make sense. Obfuscate. Obfuscate, because it's O-B-F. Like, who would put those letters together? Obfuscate.
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 It's like off you skate.
Obfuscate. Obfuscate.
Off you skate into the sunset. It's okay. Don't forget your tata as you enjoy your Keezer salad on that yachi.
That's so funny. Yeah. So you know what? You just use easy words. So you just stay away from those. And I don't use that word abominable that much because I'll probably screw it up half the time if I'm just rambling on and using it in a sentence. So. Funny.
You know, I'm developing a light language series, and the words that keep tripping me up is light language sessions. And I found myself, because it's like light language sessions. It just, if I'm not careful, it just comes out sessions like it's like dribbling.
Like language sessions. It's a little bit of a tongue twister when you say those three together for some reason.
Right?
Not just you.
I don't know. What is that one word that I said? Oh, this was so funny. We were live with Jason, and I said, what's that word?
Nithandrol. Nithandrol.
But how do you say it properly?
Neanderthal.
Neanderthal. But I said like
Ethandrol or
Nathandrol. And all of a sudden Jason says, "Wait a minute, can we like back up? I'd like to hear that word again." And I just probably went beet red and I said, "I'm not sure I could say it the same way."
You're like, I'm gonna screw up the screw up. I can't get it wrong the same way twice. It just doesn't work that way.
So Ronnie started something that is like
taken off.
Yeah.
We need to put that on a shirt, by the way.
And she calls it candyisms.
Oh, yeah.
Nathan Drawl is one of them.
Nathan Drawl can be one of them. Sell T-shirts like Nathan Drawl. Just see what you'll. It's pretty soon we'll be seeing people with all these shirts on.
Right? That would be cool. We should. We
What?
should develop that and put it in our Etsy shop.
Actually, you really could. Even the yachting. What was the first one that you said, kid? That's something yachting Kaiser.
Oh God!
Oh,
the Yahtzee.
The girl wearing the tata on the yacht eating a
The
Keezer
tata. What was
salad.
that? Was she wearing a tutu or what's the
A
tata?
tata. I called it a tata when it's a tutu.
Oh, it was a tutu. Okay. Yeah, I see a T-shirt or a bumper sticker coming for sure.
It's funny what we can do with the English language.
Oh my God. Now, did you guys do any like New Year's resolutions? Do you do that every year?
Not for a long time.
No.
Yeah, not for a long time, but I'm going to start it up again. But I'm not going to do it on New Year's because there's this guy on TikTok that actually explained, if you think about it, why do it in the month of basically standstill or frozen time or death during winter, when in actuality you need to follow the seasons. Do it during the spring of life. So when the summer comes along and then the fall of letting everything go, you then have a clean slate to work with during the winter time.
Well, this isn't really New Year's, right? That's probably what he was explaining. This is where they've just bamboozled us in every single direction. Everything we've all learned from, I'm in my 50s now. Kid, you're younger than me. Candy, you might be around maybe in your 40s. I don't know, but we're all similar ages.
Oh, well, thank you.
Everything that we've learned, just toss it out the window. This isn't New Year's, it's in March. You're right, it's in the spring when the buds start coming out and the flowers start to bloom. That's the time. Right now, we're supposed to be in hibernation. We're supposed to be hunkered down a little bit. Like, I live in Florida, so it's 75 and gorgeous today. But still, energetically, this is a time, like in Chinese medicine, this is the time for the liver. This is like liver season. And this is where you nurture that. It's so true. And we've just been tricked into thinking that this is the new year. And I don't know why they would trick us. But
What?
they did.
You saying that, it's like, oh my God, this is the time of the liver.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the hit that my liver was over full, so it was like pushing it out in many different forms, and that's why all this was happening.
Liver season, we call it. Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Thank you for that. That's amazing.
Give me 1 sec while I'm sharing our video. People must not be getting the notifications, and if you guys could share, that would be really great.
Yeah, I did not know that winter was the time for working on the liver. It's like that's awesome to know.
In Chinese medicine, so I have a friend who studies, and she's a doctor in Chinese medicine. And I just remember her telling me this years ago. I don't know if that means work on the liver, but I just know it's like liver season. So it probably does. It has something to do with, and Chinese medicine is so in depth and so intelligent that I don't profess to understand it in any way, shape, or form. But I do know it's about, like you want to work on things at certain times, and you're right. It's exactly what you said, Kit. This is not the time typically. The time right now doesn't encourage new beginnings. It's like, no, you're supposed to be quieting down. Even in the winter, if you live in cold climates like you guys do. I used to live in New Hampshire where it was cold in the winter, and you get like hard on yourself for gaining 5 pounds in the winter because you don't exercise as much. You eat differently. That's supposed to happen. That's normal. And we're supposed to just go with the cycles, instead of going against them. So yeah, I say wait till March or April to do your resolutions. Not a bad idea. I think we're just conditioned, right? We just do everything. We've been doing our whole life that way.
Yeah, and just have a happy new day every day. happy.
A happy new unbirthday every day.
Don't you think? I don't know. I know there's other extraneous things though, but do you think happiness is really a choice? I do personally, and I mean I can still choose to be happy and bad things can happen, but I do. I think it's a conscious choice to wake up and say, I'm going to look at that half full. You can look at it any way you want, right? We all have bad things that happen to us, and we're human on Earth. But how you respond to those things that happen are what makes all the difference. So for me, I just like to turn it into something good. So maybe that's a little Pollyanna-ish, but it's okay, right? I'd rather be like that than down in the dumps like I have been before. I'm not going back there anymore.
Right.
That's for sure.
I do. I do think it's a choice. I also think that we have to start becoming or sit in the chair of awareness where we're aware all the time of where those thoughts are so that we can make the choice to not latch onto a thought and to remain happy. We can push those thoughts. We can shush the brain so that we are sitting in the now and choose to be happy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as choosing whatever's outside our experience that comes into our experience. It's the same as choosing to, if we want to allow it to affect us, or if we just choose to, block it off and stay happy.
It is like a blocking, isn't it? It's like, no, I'm happy today. No, do not enter.
Right.
You're not invited to this party unless you're positive and happy. Yeah, I think I like choosing it. I wish someone had taught us that when we were in kindergarten, that you get to choose how you look at things and experience things. I think we need a whole new curriculum just to teach the good things. I mean, luckily I'm still alive to practice the stuff that I've learned, but I've learned a lot of stuff recently, within the last 10 years. I didn't know all this in my 20s. I wasn't practicing this in my 20s. I think it was more of a, whichever way the wind was blowing is my mood, you know? I didn't have a whole lot of control over that when I think back. Those are like my dark ages, back when I wasn't aware. I was spiritually unaware. God, so weird to think of.
Oh, just had. Yes, Rochelle, I do remember about that. The emotional correspondence of the liver. And that's been helping out a lot too. So thank you for that. How the liver holds a lot of anger.
It does. Yes. Yeah. If you've ever done a liver cleanse, you would know because you get so euphoric after. Have you done one, kid?
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing quite a bit of liver cleansing myself, and in all honesty, the anger that I've had for the longest time, from once I was a baby till now, against Candy here since growing up, because of the programs and all that type of stuff, is falling away. And our relationship has gotten much stronger since then too.
Oh, do you want to see a moment of love?
Oh.
I do. I'm so happy when you hear that from your child. Not every mom gets to hear those words. You know, that's really cool.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you've done yet either, Candy. There's more to come.
Oh no, it's never going to be done, because it's kind of funny. Anybody that goes after my mom and dad, like if mom comes into my room crying, I'm like, who do I need to kill?
Or beat up.
I'm like, I gotta fight a bitch.
He's like the sun bear. Bear son. We'll call you Bear Son. I go, that sounds better. That's the mama bear, the bear son.
Right.
I have a big brother like that. When I was little, he used to beat people up if they picked on me. My brother was big. He still is, but he's my big protector. So that's good that you're like that. Us ladies need protectors.
I'm very
Or we don't
easy.
need them, but they're nice to have.
I'm lovable. I'm easygoing. You know, I'm easy to get along with. But as soon as somebody comes after my family, I'm like,
Ooh.
people are scared of me when I'm angry.
I can't even imagine him angry. It's so funny to think about. I guess we all have those. We have a spectrum of emotions, right, that we operate in, and typically we all kind of hang out in the middle, like in the same area. But every once in a while,
Somebody
go
has
one way
to
or
go
the
on
other
the
to
other
the
side.
extreme. Yeah, we all get there. We all have that potential and that impetus. So you're not alone there. That's for sure, kid.
It's amazing what we can do with our emotions when we know how to channel it just right. You know? Well,
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh, go ahead.
like what your mom was saying, being in that moment. But you know, it's hard because here's something I'm learning too. You don't have to listen and believe every thought you have. Newsflash.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you had the thought, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to obey every thought in your mind, which and sometimes our thoughts aren't that good, like toward ourselves. But I think I spent a lot of the beginning of my years I'm like, oh, I had a thought, so it must be true. You know, we just obey them
Right.
without like I want to know, like, give me your papers. Who are you? Are you qualified to be in here in my brain? Like I don't even know who you are. Like how did you get in here?
You have any papers?
No, I do that now. I went to the sentry at the door of my hippocampus. I'm like, wait a second, hold on. I don't know if we're gonna let you in. Where's your VIP pass? Like,
Are you a legal citizen in my brain?
exactly. Are you a citizen of this country? Because if not, you're not getting in.
Well, it's kind of like the book that I'm reading, which I keep saying it on our lives, because it really resonates with me so much. It's from the book You for You, Feel and Grow Rich. And I think it's chapter 3 where it says the trick of the matrix. The matrix is here to distract you while the universe is here to attract you. So all those anger thoughts, all those negative thoughts, that's the matrix distracting you from you attracting the universal flow.
I love that you just brought this up. I think there's something to that, kid. So, I want to tell you this thought that I have, but I don't know like how, like what you guys all talk about. Can I just give you like the basis and you can just tell me if I can continue?
Yeah.
So if it's about what you're talking about, it's about the matrix. I was literally just, do you guys use Marco Polo, the texting app? It's like a video texting thing. It's really cool.
We only use Marco Polo when we're in the pool and we want to play the game.
I know. That's the only one I used to know too. There's this great app, you can just video chat, and I use it with all my friends. It's just a great way. So I was on my walk today and I was Marcoing my friend and I was telling her, I go, Tiff, I think they have us trapped in this matrix. Because what was I talking about? I was listening to a podcast and he was talking about this new Congress was going to uncover so many new truths and they're going to, show like the January 6th, 27,000 hours of videos that we haven't been shown yet. And they're going to, we know that Ray Epps was at the Capitol, right? And he was like calling people in and all that stuff. Do you guys know about all that? Do you talk about that ever?
Are you talking about the January 6th?
Yes, the January 6th thing.
Yeah, we do. It's not YouTube friendly, so we code it just
No.
like you did.
Yeah, I won't, I don't want to get into that. I just want to give you that context. So I was talking about that because here's the deal. So we know, I think what happened, at least partially what happened, right? I think we know more truth about January 6th. But they showed us Ray Epps. They showed us the videos of the cops letting everyone in. So sometimes we watch something, right, on YouTube or on Twitter, we see it, but we forget that there's someone behind that camera. Like, who's videoing? Why are they letting us see this? Why are we able, because they know that we can prove later that their story was just a bunch of BS. So I said to my friend, is that the Matrix? Are they trapping us in the Matrix, like, knowingly? Is that the Matrix? We're looking in on this. They're like, oh, let's show them this. And then really the Matrix is behind us. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Am I conveying what I'm saying
Oh yeah.
properly?
Mm-hmm.
So is that like, what's the Matrix to you guys? Because I'm not out of it, and I've been working on getting the heck out of it. But I feel like the more I tap into all these stories, I think it like sucks me in, and I'm not out of it at all.
I think a lot of those videos that we see are from the sleeper cells that the Matrix has control over for the people that are so mind controlled that a certain sound or a certain frequency wakes them up to do a certain action
Okay.
right at the right moment.
Yeah. Like it triggers someone into like awakening. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather think that than being trapped in the Matrix, to be honest with you.
So
I just had that thought.
I was reading a book I just received, and it was talking about the black goo. And the black goo is
Happy.
a form of life that sits above us in our atmosphere. And let's see if I can get this all out. It's all part of the Matrix, this black goo. And it has created many of the different religions and belief systems, including some things that we've considered like light, all to get us to acknowledge it and accept it and follow it. And then we become attached to it, and it draws power from us. And it's all trickery and fuckery.
Yeah.
And that black goo now is depleted so much that we are now able to start to see the veil coming down and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But this is all part of the sleeper cells that Kid was just talking about. It's all part of the thoughts that have been given to us, because as we I wish I could remember a couple of the terms that the book described. that us light workers, because I'm like, oh, I know about that. I recognize that. And I had no idea that it was not part of the actual light that we're supposed to be following. But if my family remembers correctly, Kid and I have steered away from getting certificates, getting training from man-made stuff, because we just felt like there was a freedom that needed to be had in our guides sharing with us what we needed to do. And there seems like a two-edged sword with that, because most people are like, well, are you Reiki certified? Well, are you this? Are you that? And so how do you know you can do any of this? And so all of this stuff was coming to my mind as I was reading this. And I was just like, wow, I had no idea that in that guidance we were being protected from participating in the black goo or the matrix.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, and I always felt like we were thrown into this without the preparation. Someone would use a word, and I'm like, what does that mean? And I'd have to ask, well, what is that? Because I never heard of these terms. I went from being religious to hating religion to finally working through that into our spirituality without the training. I had all sorts of Bible terms that I could use, but none of the spiritual stuff. And, I understood, of course, the word meditation, but that's the only thing coming to me, for example, of just simple things like Reiki, meditation, symbols. There's a term for symbols.
Like a mantra or something, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is that? Right.
Right.
So it was, but everyone is doing catch up now. Now that the black goo is being taken down, everyone is catching up with
The terms and terminologies and
well, also being led intuitively.
Right. That's what you're talking about, because we have been indoctrinated to memorize, right? From the minute you go to school, memorize, memorize, memorize. And our school systems, our curriculum was designed to quash the God part of ourselves, the curious part, the intuitive part, the creative part. The worst thing that could happen is a whole population of really turned on, tuned in people that are connected. I always use like Avatar as an example. Like I wanted to be a Navi after I saw Avatar. I wanted to plug my tail into that tree of light so badly and turn blue and just light up. But I think we can, I think that's what our true nature is. But we can regurgitate scripture, and there's a lot of good things that people get out of scripture. I get it. But you're not trained to listen to that still small voice, and we don't need an intermediary unless you want to have one. You can use it, right? We don't need someone to communicate for us. We can do it, but we're just learning that now, right? Now we're learning, and now we're getting into the practice of it. And if we are getting help from whomever by them lessening the veil or thinning the veil, because I do think that's happening. The truth stuff that's coming out, the stuff that's so different than it was a few years ago, even. Very promising. I mean, talk about an exciting time to be alive, huh? Would you guys miss this for anything?
sure. No, I would not miss it for
I
anything.
would not miss this for anything. I know it can be really crappy sometimes. But
Happy.
Right?
all the more reason to say I'm happy.
I've actually had some training of breaking free of that old programming through the training that I've had when I was going through my assistant management training, because I had to get my management food serve safe certificate. And what's funny is that everybody else studied the book and got a 70% or lower, right? I didn't study the book at all. And I got a 78% successful rating without studying the book because I was hands-on, learned everything by hands-on. So why study something that's in a book when in actuality you just do hands-on training and you get even better results than those that have done training?
Absolutely.
Because the guy that was above me, the general manager, he had to ask the supervisor, okay, what's this answer? What's that answer? What's this answer? What's that answer? So he could pass it. And I'm like,
So you're like, step aside. Let me have that manager's class.
Right?
so that right there already proved to me that hands-on training is the best form of training that you could do.
I one time I got hired for a sales job and I begged my new boss because their protocol was to send you down to Williamsburg for 2 weeks and do training. And just the thought of it, I was like, please, 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 please don't do this to me. Put me in, coach, and I'll prove to you. I will learn more in 2 days on the floor than I will down there in Williamsburg. It's not how I learn. And I convinced him to not do it. And I started selling immediately. It was the best thing in the world. I was so grateful. Oh, I'm so grateful. So yeah, I agree with you. Hands-on training, experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting in there and getting your hands dirty and making mistakes and screwing up. That is part of life. I mean, do you guys remember when you started your show? I don't know if it was anything like mine, but my goodness. I just had to get over myself. You know, I just literally had to just get myself out of the way. Tara, you're gonna look ridiculous. You're gonna sound stupid sometimes. Your technology's not gonna work. As you guys know. It's just, you just gotta do it. You just gotta get in there and get your hands dirty. And now, like you said before, kid, now you're a pro. You can do this with your eyes closed.
Well, I've been doing it for a little while now. But before, when I got all this OBS stuff and going, even the family knows, I had to do a lot of like reading, and my attention span when I'm sitting here reading something that's not, piquing my interest, it's like I have the attention span of a dog in a room full of squirrels.
That's long, huh? No, not very long. I totally get it. My cat saw a squirrel yesterday for the first time. Because I take him outside now. He's a little kitten. He's just getting to know birds and flowers, and it's all new to him. And he saw a squirrel for the first time. Man, it was fun to watch. He was like, he didn't know what to do. He was like, what is that?
That's awesome.
You said that was a cat or dog?
He's a kitten.
Okay. Did your kitten start chirping yet?
No. They're making those little funny little noises.
Yeah.
No. I've had a cat who's done that. He'd sit in the window and just make that funny little growly, little chirpy sound. But no, not yet. But he's only 5 months. He's just little. So he's just learning things. He's figuring it out. He's a little precious boy.
Cats are amazing creatures, that's for sure.
All animals are. Dogs amazing. I would like to have both. Cats are just easier right now. They're just easy to. I've had in my home. As soon as I moved out of my mom's house when I was 19, I went and got 3 cats. Like I was like, I'm just a cat person. I'm an animal person. Have you ever walked into someone's house without animals? I can tell. I can feel the energy. I'm like, there's no animals in here. I can tell. That's when there's animal energy in someone's house.
Right.
That purity.
You guys have any animals?
We do. We have cats and 1 dog.
Oh, do they get along? Are they like Instagram friends or like those kind of animals that get along? You know those videos?
Our dog is very gentle and respects the cats. We have one cat that just likes to order the dog around, and then traps him in the stairs where he can't get by.
And all you hear is me.
But the other cats, the males, they get along with her so well, and yeah, it's a lot like the TikToks.
Cute.
Yeah.
So cute. It's so funny whenever typically there's a dog and a cat, the cat is always the alpha. The cat is the dog knows like, okay, they're in charge. You know, those
Mm-hmm.
little, those little, what do you call those things? Not claws, but you know, like little razor blades come out. And as soon as they get one swipe of those, the dog learns very quickly who is not in charge.
Those claws are so lethal.
I know, especially to a dog's sweet little wet nose.
Uh-huh. I got attacked by my male cat once, and he gave me some serious deep scratches on my legs when he was mad at me.
Oh wow! Like he really attacked you, like he wasn't playing.
Well, yeah, he really attacked me because I was mad at his sister and he was moving to protect her. But
Oh.
we came to the conclusion there was an entity also that he was really trying to get to, and I was in the way.
When cats usually attack people, they're not really attacking the person. You're just in the frickin' way. Because they see something that we can't.
That totally makes sense. Because, you know, I've always known, or I learned a long time ago that, you know, like if you all go back to the ancient Egypt days where every family back then had at least two cats in their household. And they were designed to absorb the negative energies in the house. And then they would let them outside and the cats would take out that negative energy and like vomit it out or get rid of it. And I've just noticed patterns like that where cats can absorb. I know friends. I know a friend who was in a really toxic relationship, and like three of her cats died within a few months. One of them had like a tumor, and I think that they absorbed a lot of the energy that was going on in there. So that makes sense because I think cats know they're intuitive about things. They're gifts. They're so cool.
Right?
You know, going back to our animals, our dog, Hazel, she is so gentle, right? She is so gentle that even she'll let a burglar in the house. But until we got our cat, Q, we call her Q. Let's just say if somebody comes over that is unwanted and she knows that they're unwanted, she's our guard kitty.
I literally had to pick her up so that someone could come into the house because she was growling at them, and
Funny. Does she think she's a dog?
she's our little protector.
She is our protector. She hates everything other than us and her babies.
She's like your cat. She's not anyone else's.
Exactly.
Some cats will just go to anybody, where maybe your cat just is gonna be like your cat and nobody else's. That's special.
It is.
Yeah, I love animals. I'll always have an animal. Everyone's like, "You're getting a cat already?" Because my cat died. A 16-year-old girl died, and I was like, "I'm always gonna get a cat." I mourned for like 4 or 5 weeks, and then I'm getting another one. Always. I'm always gonna have animals around me. They're the joy that they bring you like every day. It's just I don't have words for it.
They are
I've
amazing.
literally laughed every day since I got Kasha. He cracks me up. He has these little cotton balls for paws, and he'll want to play. He'll jump on me, and like I feel these two little cotton balls on my legs, and he jumps on me because he wants to play. It's like, oh, sounds thinking cute. Like, how could you not want that in your life? Two little cotton balls hitting your legs all the time.
That's so cute.
Oh, that is really cute.
Aw.
I'm gonna get more. I keep looking at dogs. I'm like, oh, I'd love to get like a golden retriever. What kind of dog do you guys have?
Belgian Malinois.
Malinois. It sounds like a big dog.
It's a place dog.
Oh, so
It's one of those, yeah.
Smart dog.
They call them Malingators for a reason.
I've never heard of that. A Norwegian Malinois.
Belgian.
Belgian. Oh, sorry, Belgian. Okay, I was in the Netherlands up there.
Hmm.
Malinois.
We actually had a police officer over not too long ago, and he was like, "Oh my God, she is so cute, and she is so nice."
Yeah.
You never find really any Belgian Malinois that are, gentle and nice like she is, and she's just super gentle and super nice.
What are
Really
they normally
great
like?
kids.
Like attack dogs?
They're very high strung, animals with a lot of energy, and it's
Yeah.
really hard to kind of tame them.
Well, I was gonna say they must need a job. Like you can only train so many kinds of dogs to be police dogs. You know, not every dog can be a police dog. Germans are very good at it because German shepherds are so freaking smart.
They say that the Malinois is doesn't have the hip problems. They're smarter. They're smaller. They can fit into tighter places,
They're more
and they're
agile.
faster. And they have no fear. They will attack no matter what happens to their body.
It's instinctual for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And since our dog has started taking Asea, it has totally altered her personality.
Really?
She was always a bull in a china cabinet, and now she comes into the room and waits to be at the door, and just looks at you with this look of "Can I come in?" and she waits to be invited.
That's amazing.
Right?
You know what? You guys asked me when I was on your show the first time. The first thing you asked me was about Asea, and you asked me if I was like part of that tribe, and I said yes, and I forgot to tell you this, and you just reminded me. So I had Shanti, that was my 16-year-old sweet little white kitty, for 16 years, and she was 15 at the time, and I intuitively, like, I didn't know until later that you can give Asea to your cats and dogs, but I just like, I'm gonna throw some in her water and see. And I swear to God, within a week, she's 15, so, she wasn't very sprightly. She was a little quiet, but sweet as all get out. She started doing things that she hadn't done in years. I felt like, and I would talk about it on some of my shows, I felt like she had reversed ages a little bit. Like, I thought she had gone back in time. Talk about unbirthdaying. And it was really cool to see. I mean, it was really cool to see. I kind of wish I had found it earlier. And she had a big tumor in her stomach that I think has been growing for a couple of years. I didn't know it. I realize it now. I realize why she was walking the way she did. And there was no fixing that. She was too old. But yeah, when she was on Asea, I noticed a huge change in her. And I was like, there's no way. This is in 16 years, 15 or 16, I've never seen her change like this. And that was the only thing that I had added that was different. So that was really cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was really neat. I was sold. Because I remember I told you, like, I started having really vivid dreams. Like, my dreams started to get really, really, really deep. And, like, that's what I experienced. But I saw a bigger shift in her. It was actually really neat. She started running. She would, like, run toward me. I'm like, did you just run over here? You haven't run in, like, 2 years. I'm serious. It was cool. So I attributed that to Asea. Give it to your pets. Give it to your pets. Put it in there. I just put a few drops in her water every day. That's all I did. How do you guys administer it to your animals?
We have one bowl full of just water, and then next to it is a bowl full of just Asea.
Really?
So they get to choose which one that they would like.
Mm-hmm. And we see them all drinking from both.
Do you know something? That's such a good idea, because in the morning I take Kaja outside. I have him on a leash. He's so cute. He has like a little harness, and I'm just teaching him to be outside, and he loves my pool. And this morning, he was like, I thought he was going to fall in. He was literally, because he loves to like paw at it. He forgot that 2 weeks ago he fell in. He totally, because their brain's only this big. Totally forgot about that experience. I mean, he fell in twice, the poor little guy. But I was laughing because I knew I was going to save him, and he was so soaking wet. But he was pawing at the water, and he likes to watch the ripples. But then he started drinking it, and there's a similarity in taste, right? To pool water and it's kind of that same kind of taste. So I'm gonna try that and see if he'll drink it. I like that tip. Hot tip.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I got that from
Carol? Wait. She's from England, the UK.
No, not from Carol. I can't remember her name at the moment. Really neat lady in our upline. She's been with it for what? 12, 15 years, Asea. So, I mean, she's one of the originals. And she suggested, yeah.
Deborah?
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, I forgot her last name, though.
She suggested. There we go.
Suggested.
Yeah. What he said. To put it in a separate bowl and let them decide. Right?
Because if you mix it in the water, it's already activating because the water is organic and it activates with something organic. So she said it will do, some, but you'll have a better, what do you call that? Better results. You'll have better results if it's just in its own bowl.
You know what I stopped doing for a while and I forgot about it, now I'm doing it religiously, is keeping it in my mouth for like 30 seconds. Do you guys do that every time? I wasn't doing that for a while. And actually, the first time I did it, sweetheart Jay forgot to mention that. I'm just totally was innocent. He just, and then I had them on my show, and I was like, and so afterward, I'm like, you never told me I was supposed to swish it around in my mouth for 30 seconds. He's like, oh my God, I think he sent me a case because he was so sweet. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you have to be sorry. You didn't mean it, right? But I had no idea. I didn't know that you're supposed to like move it around. So I do that every morning and every night religiously now. So.
Right?
Oh, Jay is so sweet.
Ah.
And April, they're amazing.
Those two, salt of the earth. I wouldn't be doing Sacred Valley podcast if it weren't for them. He nudged me. I don't say pushing is too hard of a word, but he pushed me in a gentle way. He nudged me. And a couple weeks ago, remember when I told you April called me, she and I were texting, and I said something about I was doing some healing work with this man, and she blasted me on text. She's like, you do not need any healing. And then she finally just called me, and she's like, she slapped me upside the head, electronically. She's like, knock it off. You're a freaking rock star. She was swearing at me. I mean, it was the best motivational, 25 minutes of my life. Literally, I was like, okay, I'm a rock star. No, I believe you. I'm like, okay. By the time I finished, I was like, all right, I'm going to get on my show, and I'm just going to start doing stuff. It was just so cute and so sweet. She's like, if you ever start feeling that way again, you call me. Don't you sit there for 2 minutes and think this. It was very sweet and kind, and the two of them are just salt of the earth. I can't say enough about them. How wonderful they are.
That is amazing, because I like to do stuff like that too. Like when somebody comes up to me and says, I'm sorry, or I apologize, I'm like, excuse me? I'm sorry. I'm offended that you even apologize to me. How dare you? Because that is you attaching to the situation when it's already let go. What is there to forgive?
But I'm choosing to be offended now, so now I'm mad.
Right?
It's so funny. And she really did kind of alert me to stuff. And then I had this great guest on, this Brian Ridgway. He's called the Spellbreaker. And his way of thinking is so groovy and so cool. And he's the one who got me thinking. He's like, just step out of the matrix, man. He's like, he lives in Hawaii, and he's like, aloha everything. And the way he thinks is so expansive and enlightening. And I've just kind of adopted the way that he thinks now. And the two of them just really helped me open my eyes. And I'm like, I'm not doing any more healing with this guy, because Brian's whole theory, the Spellbreaker, is like, you have a pattern of perfection within you. It's already there. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. And I was like, light bulb moment. Like, that was freaking huge. So now I'm just believing that. Like, why not believe that, right? We can believe things. We can believe anything we want. I used to believe the thoughts in my damn head. I don't need to think that anymore. I want to believe we are a pattern of perfection. And I'm already healed. Everything I need to heal, it's already here. And I'm a rock star. I don't know. That one's a little tough. I might have to work on that with April. But
yeah, it's the same thing as people coming up to you and going, yeah, I'm a perfectly imperfect person. I'm like, let's kind of change that up, because the imperfect overrules the perfect. So your mind just focuses upon the imperfect. But you can say the same thing by saying, I am perfect today, but I could be even more perfect tomorrow and more perfect after that. And that also helps you to get into that process of being that perfectness.
But do you really think, I don't know, does it exist? I don't, the thought of being perfect bores the shit out of me. Like, I'm just like, I cannot live out. I just can't. I don't want to be. It sounds boring. Because I feel like if you're perfect, there's no anticipation. There's nothing else, right? If you're perfect, you have nothing to learn. You have nothing, I don't know. To me, I think a lot of people who, I'm a life coach, so a lot of my clients like strive for perfection. And one of the big things I teach them is that's a block. Talk about being stuck in a matrix. Like to think that I'm not going to do a podcast because we strive for perfection, and your perfection is not attainable. You never get there. Like it's not, it doesn't exist, but it traps you in places. So it keeps you from doing something because you're afraid, because you're not going to be perfect at it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I eschewed perfection years ago. Thank God I cut that ball and chain off. I'm like, that's just not happening in my life, and I have no interest in it.
That's a really good
I don't
way
want to
of
be perfect.
looking
I'm
at
never
it,
going to
though.
be perfect. So yeah,
That really is a good way of looking at it.
that's one way of looking at it.
There was something that I was just going to say. He came in and left.
Bye.
Adios.
Oh, he'll come back if it's needed.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fun family ramblings. I mean, just whatever pops into our head and we dish it out.
There's always something to talk about, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
With podcasters and with your viewers, everyone, there's always something to say something about. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Again, thank you for working with me. Should we tell everybody what happened?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I was supposed to have Kid and Kenny on my show today, and I was very excited. We had scheduled them for last week or 2 weeks ago, and but they had a massive storm up in their area.
We lost all internet.
Yeah, they lost power and internet, so that wasn't happening. And then today, I got on my platform, and it just wasn't working. I sent them a video of it. It just was lagging, and it was like delayed. I did a test broadcast, didn't work. So they came on anyway backstage, and we were able to chat. And they said, "Hey, you want to come on our show? We'll record, and we'll just have a family ramble." I'm like, "Well, let's do it. We're all here and dressed up and ready to go," as they say. What do they say? All dressed up with no place to go.
Right?
So I'm like, let's do it. Let's go have a chat and see what we can come up with. So I'm glad you did. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just gotta figure things out. I might have to switch over to your platform. I may have to make the switch because I don't like this. I don't like having the technology being in charge of whether or not we broadcast. You know,
Oh, yeah.
not fun.
Definitely.
Not fun.
Yeah, well, just let me know and I can help you with the tech stuff since I've been doing it
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It probably won't take too long because I taught myself this one, but I'm sure I would love that. That would be helpful. And it's like just getting used to another platform, you know, just getting accustomed. So I think I'll do that. And then I know there'll still be issues. Like you're still gonna have storms and things are gonna happen, but minimizing the technical difficulties will be a good thing to do. So, and I'm still gonna have you guys on, so we still have a show to do. I want to talk all about you guys when you come on Sacred Valley. That's what I was excited about.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was fun.
I'm we really appreciate that you guys tuned in, and we want you to tune in often. Tell your friends, tell your family about us, and have them join us too, because we have a lot of fun while we learn how to be a family and learn about loving ourselves and each other, and then learning. We just learn. I mean, I was telling someone, they brought up about TikToks, and I said, you know what? Kids should be taken out of school, given a phone, and put on TikTok, and they'll learn more than they ever have at school.
That's the new curriculum I was talking about.
Because
Right?
it's so vast, and people go deep with a lot of the things that they're sharing on TikTok.
So I haven't ventured there yet. I had a friend, he posted a video that I made the other day and it went viral. He had over 300,000 views like overnight, and he kept sending me like pictures of it. And he's like, you got to get on the talk now. And I'm like, ah. I said, I'm just so like another platform, another social media. And he's like, you just got to get over it. So you guys like TikTok? That's like your vibe?
You know, yeah.
We haven't done any videos on TikTok yet, though.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
We're slow to proceed there.
Okay, you are too. So probably for the same reasons that I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his video about that went viral?
It was a video. I did a thing, and I don't know if I'm gonna offend your viewers. So I don't want to offend anybody, but it has to do with masks.
Has to do with okay.
Oh, face stapers.
So I
It's
tell
all
the story.
good.
I tell the story. It's very short.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm just over it, and everyone knows my stance on them. And I just videotaped someone. So I went to a store, and they wanted to wait on me with a mask on, and I said, and I was very nice about it. I didn't swear, I didn't yell, I wasn't rude. I just said, I need you to take your mask off, and they're like, no, I can't do that. I said, yeah, I can't. I need mouth to mouth. I can't talk to you with a mask on. He goes, no, I really can't do that. I said, well, if you want to stand 6 feet apart from me, I'm allergic to masks. So if you could do 6 feet, I was just being a wise ass at that point. And he just said, no, I'll come, I'll get someone else for you. And I said, okay, that'd be great. It was a short 27-second video, but for some reason it went absolutely crazy. And I lost a family member over it. So
Oh.
someone unfamilied me. Yep.
Well, you
But
got
I
a
got
whole new
accosted
family.
back in the day. I got accosted in Walmart by a stranger for not wearing one. I was thrown out of a liquor store for not wearing one. But that was okay. It's funny when you turn the tables, you know, it's so anyway, that was the short video that he put up, and it went crazy, I guess. And I don't even know now. I don't ask. I'm like, I don't care. No one knows who I am on TikTok, so it doesn't matter how many views. It was just funny.
Well, we've also been thrown out of places too for not
yeah.
wearing masks. So
Oh, I think we all have.
We actually got thrown out of a restaurant because we asked for service.
Really?
The owner of the restaurant, which we found afterwards, was the one who was not filling up our drinks, was
Doesn't
not
matter.
coming over to see if we needed anything else, and we asked him. I said, we would like our, we're paying a lot of money for this, and he just like did that and turned around and walked away. And my son said, "Oh no, he's not going to get away with that." And so he went up to him, and the guy said, "You're not going to talk to me like that." And he came over and took the dish that my husband was eating right out from underneath him, and then gathered the others, because Kid and I weren't sitting at the table, but my husband was. Oh no, I was. Yeah, my husband and
both
I
of you
were.
were.
Yeah, and I wasn't eating though. I had just put my fork down for a minute, and so he took my husband's plate, and he took all the plates, and he said, "You get out."
But wait, so what was this based upon? Like, did something happen before, or did they know like you were anti-maskers? Did it have something to do with that?
No, it had nothing to do with the maskers. It was just him being a snob because he thinks that he's all that.
You might want to switch careers, like an assembly line, maybe.
When he's away from
To
customers,
deal with
yes.
humans. I mean,
But
this is what you do. You put a smile on your face and you wait on people. You offer them a service. I used to be a waitress. I know. It's easy if you have a good establishment behind you. Oh my God.
Right. Well,
great.
what's funny is that after we were kicked out and I was able to calm down, I'm recalling the memories that when I looked at his eyes were full on black.
Oh, really?
So, sorry. He was either possessed or being controlled by maybe a reptilian or something.
Oh, that makes sense. Now that makes sense. I'm like, what did you guys do? What did you? I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Now I get it.
So he must have not wanted to serve us because he didn't want to be around our energy.
No, he liked all the other people that were, complaining
Absolutely.
and bitching and crying and doing whatever, and he was over there serving them. But us, it's like, we're the high vibrational family.
Your light was too bright. You know, the lighter and the brighter your light shines, the more people can see their spots. And
That's
sometimes you will offend people without doing
Saying a
anything,
thing.
without being who you are. It's just part of the awakening process, and you just chalk it up to that, and it's nothing personal. That's for sure. It's happened to me a lot. It is actually.
Happy,
I'm gonna
happy.
keep getting brighter. I want to keep going brighter, so I'm not going the other direction. So whoever you leave in your wake, just bless them and wish them the best.
Yeah. Well, we wish your family the best too. That's their lesson.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you love them, you'll let them go. If they're meant for you, they'll be back.
Right.
This is true.
I'm back.
It's a cliche for a reason. Cliches only stick around for thousands of years because they make sense and they're still applicable. So yeah.
Oh.
Okay, let's try this again. This is a good time to wrap up,
Think about it again for real this time.
right? So we love you guys. Thank you, mods, for being on and doing what you do, which is the best. And Tara, thank you again for being our guest.
Thank you for letting me be your guest. I had fun. I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, most definitely. Love you, family. See you guys soon. And Tara, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to be able to have you on our show again.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Probably not going to want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Always go with the choice that scares you the most, because it's the choice that's going to help you grow.
Wow.
I can't do negative today. Positive vibes.
Hey, best friend. Wait. To the person seeing this, I know you're tired. I know you're fed up and so close to breaking. But remember, you have strength within you even when you feel weak. Keep fighting, best friend.